What's going on out there? Wanted to do a quick video right now. Not gonna take up too much of your time, but if you got your Bibles, get them out. Okay, get your pens out. Just really want to walk through a couple scriptures here because I've had some conversations recently with some very good friends of mine, and most of them are still in the Christian church. They're still kind of in the church, and so they have a lot of questions and everything about this truth, about the truth that black people, Negroes, are the original children of Israel that the Bible talks about. Okay, the Bible from Genesis to Revelations is about one group of people. All right, it's about the Israelites. It's about the true Hebrew Israelites, the children of Israel. Okay, aka Negroes. All right, not those people that are inhabiting that land of Israel right now. Those are not the true and biblical Israelites. Okay, and if you want to know more about that, I would suggest that you not only open up this book, but educate yourself with other books, like for instance, this book right here by SHALOM Sand. It's called The Invention of Jewish People. All right, you see that? Yeah, that's going to break a lot of stuff down to you about who those people are. But that's another subject for another time. That's not what I'm talking about here today on this video. The reason why I'm going through these particular scriptures that I'm about to go through is because our people are in a deep sleep. Okay, a lot of cliche terms get thrown around here in 2016, like stay woke, and a lot of people say, oh, you sleep, stuff like that or whatever. But to be honest, the children of Israel, the Negroes, are in a deep sleep. Okay, and there's a reason why, and there is an actual a lot of times we don't know how we got into this sleep. So that's why I want to do this video, and I want to go through a particular set of scriptures so that you can see how we got into this deep sleep, and what our future is. Okay, how we're going to get out of it. All right, and so the first set of scriptures that I want to go through are actually in the book of Isaiah. We're going to go to chapter 29, all right, verse 10, all right? And it says, for the Lord has poured out upon you the spirit of a deep sleep. Okay, so we see who poured out upon us a spirit of a deep sleep. We are in a deep sleep. There's a difference between a kind of a shallow, kind of a napping type of thing. When you nap in, you can, anything can kind of wake you up. But when you are in a deep sleep and you're dreaming, you're having, you're on your second or third dream, you're in a really, really deep sleep, it's harder to wake somebody up, right? And so the scripture is saying that it was the Lord who put on us a spirit of a very deep sleep. And it says that, for the Lord has poured out upon you the spirit of a deep sleep and has closed your eyes. So not only you're asleep, you're blind as well. The prophets, your pastors, and your rulers, your leaders, right? The seers has he covered. These people are in a very deep sleep, all right? So really, your leaders, your government leaders, your prophets, your pastors, all right? They cannot see. It is the blind leading the blind. All right, so we're gonna keep going, and it says in verse 11, and the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed. All right, the mysteries trapped inside of the pages of this Bible. All right, it is sealed. Okay, it is not for everyone. All right, we have to get a understanding of what we're reading, and we get that line upon line, precept upon precept. Okay. All right, and it says, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot. It is sealed. All right. That reminds me of one of my cousins. We were talking about the fact that, we are the biblical Israelites. And I said, yeah, man, open up your Bible, read it and stuff. And he was like, I can't, I don't understand it. And that's what this is saying. He said, read this, I pray thee. And then he says, I cannot, for it is sealed. Right? And then it says in verse 12, and the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he says, I am not learned. I do not understand. Okay? And so the Bible talks about when we get wisdom, we have to get not only wisdom, but with all the wisdom that you get, you have to get understanding as well. Okay? But we are in a deep, deep sleep right now. All right? And there's a reason why. Let's go to Romans chapter 11. Romans chapter 11. We're going to actually come back to Isaiah 29. So I'm going to put a marker there. But we're going to go to Romans 11. All right. And we're going to further see who put upon us, the children of Israel, a deep sleep. Okay. And so Romans chapter 11 verse 8 says that according as it is written, God has given them the spirit of slumber. All right. So we see who put us in this deep sleep. Because a lot of times we want to believe a lie. We want to believe whatever is told to us, no matter what this book says. Right. So the Most High says, okay, you want to, if that's what you want to believe, I'm going to let you believe that. As a matter of fact, you're going to be in that very deep, and it's going to be hard for you to get out of it. All right, but again, in these last days, the Most High is waking up his elect people. Verse 8, God has given unto them the spirit of slumber, eyes that should not see. So again, we sleep and we blind, and ears that they should not hear. Okay, so when somebody is trying to bring this truth to you, trying to expose seeds of falsehood that has been planted into your life, you still don't want to hear it. That means you're in a deep sleep. You fighting, you wrestling with it, but I was taught this certain way for the last 20 years, like I was taught a certain way for, the 20-something years that I was in the Christian church. Right? But so we see who brought this spirit of a deep sleep on us, right? So now let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. All right. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, we're going to go to verse 11. All right. Now we really getting into the meat of this. All right. We really finna understand how we got into this state of sleep. Right. And it says, verse 11, it says, and for this cause, God shall send them a strong delusion. All right. It was God who sent a strong delusion amongst us. A lot of us are walking around like the walking dead, like zombies. He sent a strong delusion on us. A lot of us are delusional. We deceive ourselves into thinking that we love God. We love him so much. We say that so much with our lips and our mouth. We love him. All right. But Christ said that if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. So are you keeping his commandments? That's the only way that you can show that you love him, not with your mouth, not with mouth service. It don't work like that. You don't get into the kingdom like that. All right? You got to put work in, right? Faith without works is dead, right? So you have to have faith and you have to have works. What are the works? The commandments. Doing all of the commandments. All of them. Not just the big 10. All right? There's over 300 commandments in the Bible. There is guidelines. There's a way, a certain way that the Most High want Negroes to live, the children of Israel. There's a way that he wants you to live. And we don't do that. We are living, because we're living in a system of white supremacy. Because we're living in a system of white supremacy. That's how we live. That's how we dress. That's how we, a lot of us talk. We want to get that good job. And so we got to change our talk the way, how they sound, right? I'm going to read on. Verse 11. And for this cause, God shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Right? For an example, all right, one of the lies that most people are taught in the Christian church is that all of the laws are done away with. Let me help you out. The Most High gave us 4 sets of laws. All right, one set is the civil laws. Another set is the moral laws. Another set is the dietary laws. Another set is sacrificial laws. Guess which one of those group of laws God did away with? He did away with this sacrificial laws. He got rid of those. All right. And the reason why is because, the Israelites, we were sinning like crazy, and we have a goat ready to go because we know we about to sin. We have a goat ready to go, and that's the sacrifice. He said that's not enough anymore. And so he sent Christ to be that last official and ultimate sacrifice for you and I. Okay, for the children of Israel. All right. That's what he got rid of. Okay, so when he sent Christ, there's no need for the sacrificial laws anymore. But guess what? All of the other laws are still in play. You have to follow those. And if you're not following those laws, you cannot make it into the kingdom. Sorry. Not going to happen. Thus saith the Bible. Thus saith the Lord. All right. So let's keep reading. Verse 12. And it says, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but has pleasure in unrighteousness. We got pleasure. We take pleasure in unrighteousness. We just want to do what we want to do. We don't want to walk in God's commandments and his laws and his statutes. We don't want to walk in that stuff. We want to do what we want to do. We want to wear what we want to wear. We want to talk the way that and treat our brother and our sister the way we want to treat them. We ain't tripping on what he's saying. Hey, live your life this way. So since we don't want to live our life a certain way, the way he commanded us to, he put a strong sleep on us. Okay. Now let's keep it moving. We're going to go to Romans chapter 1. We got to wake up, people. The time is short. We don't have a lot of time left, man. All right. I'm doing this video because I love y'all, man. And I get like I said, I get a lot of questions and stuff from a lot of my loved ones who want to know the truth. But then I see when they get exposed to the truth, they don't want to hear it. Just like the Bible says. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. Why? Because they still in that deep sleep that the Most High put on them. But Romans chapter 1, verse 28, right? And it reads, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, right? We didn't want to retain God in our knowledge, right? It says God gave them over into a reprobate mind. Since we didn't like to retain the law, statutes, and commandments of this word, he said, okay, I'm gonna give you over into a reprobate mind. What does reprobate mean? Reprobate means that's pretty much you cannot see the difference between right and wrong. Okay, that's what that means. And then it says to do those things which are not convenient. We're doing a lot of wicked stuff out there. We're still practicing pagan holidays. We're worshiping pagan gods. We're doing all of the stuff that our ancient forefathers were doing, which got us into this trouble in the first place. We're still doing that stuff today in 2016, man. We got to stop that stuff. All right? But you still going to practice Easter. You still going to practice Christmas. You still going to, even a lot of y'all know that these are not biblical holy days. God gave us holy days. You don't practice none of those though, do you? But you going to practice all this pagan stuff, ain't you? You going to go to Thanksgiving? I know you are. Halloween. All these pagan holidays. All right? That ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. All lies. But like he said, you want to believe a lie? I'm going to put you off up in that. But guess what though? There's a judgment for that. All right? And this is how that goes. I'm going to help you out, right? So what we're kind of in a system where we don't want to know the truth like this says. We don't want to believe the truth. And we're comfortable with false notions. It's like it said, things that are not convenient, right? We're comfortable with false notions, right? You know what happens? I'm going to tell you what happens. There's a 4-step process when you're asleep like that, all right? The first thing is that the Most High leaves us to those lies. He says, again, you want to believe those lies when you have the truth in the book, but you don't want to open up the book to find out the truth. You just want to believe the lies that you're told. Okay, so that's the first thing. He's going to lead you over to it, just like this says. It says God gave them over to a reprobate mind. He said, I'm gonna leave you in that situation. Okay, that's the first thing that happens. He leaves you, all right. He gives you over into that reprobate mind. That's number one. Number two, sin then takes its course. All right, because we don't want to do the things that we supposed to do, right? So sin is going to take its course. Right? That's the second thing that happens. And then the third thing that happens is there is a spiritual judgment that happens to a person while they're on earth. A spiritual judgment happens to a person while they're here still on earth. Okay? Why? Because they believed the lie and they didn't want the truth that the Most High is trying to give over to them. The fourth thing that happens, all right, after that spiritual judgment that happens to a person while they're here on earth during their lifetime, right? The fourth thing that happens is the eternal punishment happens in the afterlife. All right. So when they leave this earth, there's an eternal punishment. There's an eternal punishment. And that's not what we don't think about that stuff. We think about the 50, 60, 70, 80 years that you probably might spend on earth if you blessed enough to spend that amount of time on earth. We don't think about eternity though, right? But there's an eternal punishment for the things that we're doing here. All right, so we got to understand that. All right. Again, number one, God leads you over into the lie that you want to believe. All right. And then the second thing, sin takes course. All right. And after sin is done taking course, there's a spiritual judgment that happens to that person while he's on earth. And then after he leaves earth, there is a eternal punishment. Okay. But let's get back into the scripts. All right. So now we're going to go back to the book of Isaiah. Right. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm not going to take too much of y'all time, man. But I just wanted to holler at y'all real quick, man, because I love you, man. I love you, man, and you know, it's time for us to wake up. And so Isaiah chapter 44, verse 18. And it says, they have not known nor understood, for he has shut their eyes, and they cannot see, and their hearts, and they cannot understand. It's the Most High that shut your eyes. That's why you sleep. It's the Most High that shut your ears. That's why you can't hear when a brother or sister come to you with some knowledge or this truth. All right? You don't want to hear it. You reject it. Oh. There's a reason why you reject it. And that's what we're reading right now. Okay? There's a reason why. All right? This deep sleep was put on every Israelite. Every single one of us. I was in a super deep sleep. But in these last days, he's waking us up. He's calling you out of the Christian church. His elect, at least. His elect, he's calling you out of that thing. That's why a lot of y'all don't realize why you don't go to church no more. You're thinking like, man, I ain't been to church in 2-3 years. But I used to go all the time. And if you do pop in, you're like, man, I just don't feel it. I'm not getting fed. Right? There's a reason why he brought you out of it. Not so that you can go back into it. He brought you out of it so that you can then be exposed to the truth of this Bible. All right? And to get untangled out of the trap of lies, the web of lies that we've been taught. All right? But a lot of y'all just sitting around stagnant and you're not searching for truth. You just not going to church no more. You don't know why. All right?